Hi, Asma. Let's take a look at your new set of essays, okay? So let's see. Let's just get right into it. It is believed by some people that workers should hold the same position for the rest of their lives, yet others believe they should change jobs minimum once during their career. Personally, I strongly agree with employees switching jobs in the course of their career. Okay, fine. Um, I'm wondering if maybe you could have changed around the language here a little bit or somehow used some form of cohesion so that you didn't have to say uh jobs during their career, jobs during their career. So I mean, it's not the exact same expression, but it's similar enough that I wonder if there was some other way you could have written this so that it felt a little more cohesive and not so repetitive with some of the vocabulary. So let me give you an example. Personally, I strongly agree with employees switching jobs as it benefits them in the long run. Okay, so something like that even, just a little bit so that you're not, repeating. I mean, okay, yeah, you're still repeating jobs, but at least it's not, in their career, of their career, and so forth, okay? So that one little suggestion there. Otherwise, it's lovely. There is ample evidence that workers should remain in the same job, let me see, throughout their lifetime. Okay. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, the perks of this is that long-term employees will most likely receive certain benefits from their company, such as health insurance, career development, as well as better pay. Secondly, in most cases, long-term workers have the right skills as well as experience, and as a result, they move up the ladder. For example, an extensive research, get rid of the "and" here, extensive research by Harvard Business Review showed that workers who hold the same position for more than 10 years receive special benefits and get promoted to senior positions. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that holding the same position for a long term has its benefits. All right, this is lovely. It's really well written. It's, yeah, it's really well written. There's a couple of things that I want to talk to you about. First of all, I want you to be careful with the linking devices. Look, firstly, secondly, for example, therefore. So I think in this paragraph you had maybe one sentence that didn't have one of these linkers. Okay, you want to be careful with them. I'm not saying don't use linking devices like this, but these are called front position linkers, and examiners will look to see if you really have a lot of them because they're considered kind of intermediate level ways of cohesion. Okay, so it's kind of like a band 6 cohesion, in other words. So you don't want to use a ton of them. In fact, cohesion should be something that doesn't really draw attention. Okay, whereas these kind of act like a speed bump. Okay, firstly, comma. Secondly, comma. So do you see what I'm saying? You automatically kind of pause with your eyes. So try to really reduce the number of these that you have per paragraph. Okay, so that was one thing. Now, the other thing that I want to talk to you about is your decision to have a concession paragraph. I think it's a great decision. Okay, I think that concession paragraphs really just make your point of view sound stronger. Okay, however, if you're going to have a concession paragraph in an essay like this is to what extent do you agree or disagree, it's important to explain to us why. Okay, so you explained to us that there's this dilemma up here, and then in your thesis statement, you told us that you strongly agree with employees switching jobs. Okay, well, since you strongly agree, it really doesn't make a lot of sense to us when all of a sudden you start talking about why people should remain in the same job. Okay, so what you need to do instead is, rather than saying that you strongly agree, bring up to us in this thesis statement that this is an issue that is rather complex, that it can be seen both ways, but on the whole that you think it's better to to switch jobs. Okay, so obviously I haven't read your second body paragraph yet. I will read it, and then I'll tell you a suggestion for how you could have done this. So let's just kind of, put a pause there. We'll come back to this, okay? All right, so let's move on then. On the other hand, although there is a case for the perks of long-term employment, switching jobs throughout one's career has far more benefits. This is largely because employees who switch jobs every few years develop valuable professional skills and they learn to adapt themselves to the change quickly. Okay. Furthermore, changing jobs allows you to try different roles and even different industries. As a result, you become experienced in different fields and you develop new relationships. Also, in most cases, workers who switch jobs are more satisfied with their career. For example, recent empirical research by the UK government demonstrated that 90% of employees who change their jobs throughout their career have a valuable experience as well as professional and interpersonal skills. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that switching jobs is crucial for professional growth. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the linkers. You shouldn't have used on the other hand because you didn't use on the one hand. Remember, these two go together, so you cannot use one without the other. Okay? What you could have done instead is you could have used a however, or that being said, or having... that being said, or just something like that, okay? So, that's one thing. Then, let's take a look, because I pointed out to you the linkers here. Let's take a look at this. As a result, also, for example, thus. Okay, they're not in every sentence, but pretty much. I think it was just here in this sentence where you didn't have one of these. So, I'm going to ask you to please try to use fewer of these front position linking devices, okay? In fact, I did a whole podcast about coherence and cohesion. So check it out. It talks about this issue and different ways of creating cohesion within your sentences without all of these, okay? So that's one thing that I want to point out. So, other than that, I thought this was really nice. You had a lot of ideas, you supported them, so that was fine. Let's take a look at your conclusion, and then we'll come back to this thesis sentence thing again. To conclude from the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that transitioning from one job to another will help you grow professionally and personally. All right, that's fine. No problems there. So let's go back to this. I want to read the whole thing again. It is believed by some people that workers should hold the same position for the rest of their lives, yet others believe they should change jobs minimum once during their career. Personally, while staying in one job may have financial and career benefits, switching jobs is more advantageous in the long term. That's it. Okay, so this way, the development of your essay then makes sense to us because you've explained to us that, look, I can see that there's some value in staying in one job, but overall, it's better to switch. And then all of this makes sense. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. I hope I've explained it okay. But I thought you did a great job in the rest of the essay. I thought it was really well written, so nice job there. Alrighty, let's take a look now at your letter, English and Homestay. Let's see what you said. Okay. Dear Sir, Madam, my name is Asma and I am from India. I have registered in one of your rooms for 2 weeks during my homestay program in UK. I'm delighted that I can spend my vacation with your family. I'm writing to ask you for some advice. Alright, we'll talk about that in a minute. This is my first time visiting the UK and I'm not familiar with the weather. Could you tell me how the quality of the weather is during September time? Is it cold or warm? Do I have to bring a coat with me? Additionally, I would like to ask about the food because I am vegetarian. I was wondering if I will find healthy vegetarian food options. As you may know, I will be arriving at the 5th of September and according to my ticket details, I will be in the airport at 5 p.m. That is if there are no delays. I look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Yours faithfully. Okay. Let's talk about this a little bit. I wanted to read through the whole thing first. Okay. I kind of feel like you didn't totally understand this. What is a homestay? All right, I got the sense that you didn't understand that. So first of all, a homestay is when you literally stay with a family in their home. Okay, so they open up their home to you and you are their guest as part of this program. So clearly this is some sort of English language program which has you in homestays with English families. Okay? So that's the first thing in the premise. And I got the sense that you didn't understand that because you said, I have registered in one of your rooms for 2 weeks. My vacation, it's not really a vacation. Okay. So I got the sense that you didn't really understand this. Second of all, it's a formal letter. You did understand that. You started with Dear Sir, Madam. But remember that in formal letters, we start with the reason for our writing. So you should have first started with why you are writing, and then you should have introduced yourself. Okay? So what do I mean? Or how would I suggest writing this? Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing regarding the English and Homestay program that I am a participant of. I have been informed that you will be hosting me for the program, and I would like to thank you and introduce myself. My name is Asma, and I am from India. I study this, I work as this, and I am very delighted to be coming to the UK for the first time. Okay, something like that. Something like that. Not necessarily that, because that was kind of wordy, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. I imagine you do. Okay, so then you could say, prior to my arrival in your country, I would like to clarify some issues, or I would like to clarify some questions I have. Okay, and then you could say, firstly, I am not familiar with the weather. Could you tell me? We don't really say the quality of the weather. We don't really describe weather like that. So you could just say, could you tell me what kind of weather I may expect in September? And that's all. You don't have to say, is it cold or warm? Another thing that you need to remember is that in formal letters, we try to avoid having these direct questions. They seem rather informal. So here where you say, do I have to bring a coat with me? That's a direct question. So what you want to do instead is you want to phrase this in a more indirect way. And there are lots of ways to do that. For example, you could say, I would like to know if I should bring a coat with me. Or could you possibly tell me if I will need a coat with me? Okay? So these are more indirect ways and they end up sounding more formal. Okay. Additionally, I would like to ask about the food because I am a vegetarian and I was wondering if I will find healthy vegetarian food options. That's fine. Okay, so let's say, as you may know, I will be arriving on the 5th of September, and according to my ticket details, I will be at the airport at 5 p.m. And then here you needed a comma. That is, comma, if there are no delays. I look forward to hearing from you in the near future. That's fine. Okay? So fine. A little awkward in some places. Okay? A little awkward, especially in the beginning. And then, you know, some of this stuff with the language here, the indirect questions. So just that. But on the whole, a good job, Asma. Okay? So nice work. Let's see another set from you, and I'll be waiting. Okay? So good luck to you.